So what we're doing today is talking about the Metabolic Reset program, and this is a way to effectively release weight and transition to a healthy and sustainable lifestyle. Hey, everybody joining on Instagram, thank you so much. So here, let's just jump right in and then make sure to put in your questions, and I'll do my very best to get to everyone's questions. If I can't do it during the live, I will go back and answer your questions in the comments, and feel free to connect with me via Facebook Messenger or DM me on Instagram, and we can talk about the Metabolic Reset. Okay, so what is the Metabolic Reset? Well, you guys know that this time of year, everybody's coming off of the holidays and we're looking forward to the new year, and we are just envisioning our very best selves. And for a lot of us, that means we want to be in better shape, we want better health, we want more energy. And for a lot of us, you know, we want to just release some weight. And I call it release weight because it's really important to me that this is about letting go what doesn't belong. It's not about like beating your body up. It's not about like that perfect image. Like I don't promote any of that. And to tell you guys the truth, I never thought that I would open up a weight loss program, but because of the powerful and transformative results of the Metabolic Reset, I've decided to open this up. It's been really powerful for myself and for my colleagues, and we've run this with hundreds of patients in this doctor networking group. And what I did is I took this Metabolic Reset process and I up-leveled it by making it even more holistic and aligned with long-term health and sustainable lifestyle. So the Metabolic Reset is not a diet. It is actually a process. And so that's what I want to talk about first, is the reason that so many diets fail is because they're really focused on that one thing. They're focused on deprivation, they're focused on calorie restricting, they might be focused on certain foods, but they're not taking into account what's truly going on with the body. And that's really important because for so many people, what I have seen is it's not the food that they're eating, it's actually this hormonal resistance to releasing weight that they have in their body, and that's what we are working on and setting straight with the Metabolic Reset. That's why we call it the Metabolic Reset, because it's not just about the food. It's not just about the diet. It is about this process where we can actually retrain the brain. We can send your body a signal of safety and tell it, you know what? You don't need those fat stores anymore. You can actually release them. That's okay. You go ahead and do that. So if you're somebody who has tried a paleo approach or the Whole30 or a keto approach, which by the way are all approaches that I love, and some of my patients have had amazing success with them, that's great if that works for you. It certainly worked for me in the beginning. So to back up a little here and tell you my story is I had the experience of not only gaining weight and feeling uncomfortable in my skin, but I actually had anxiety and panic attacks and depression. And for me, one of my root causes was celiac disease. So food as medicine has been incredibly healing for me. And that's how I discovered the paleo diet. This was, I guess now 6 or 7 years ago. And at first, you know, all the weight came off and my immune system came back online and my energy came back, everything was great, but it didn't stay off. It did for a while, but I think that there were some key strategies to my lifestyle and nutrition plan that were missing. And because of the stress as in my life, as a doctor, as a woman entrepreneur, as the head of my household, you know, I actually gained some weight, and even though I'm in really great health, I wasn't feeling like my best self, and I wasn't feeling that I had my best energy. And most importantly, my passion is not only to be, you know, a great role model and example and a leader for you guys, and always be on that leading edge to figure out, you know, what are the best strategies so that I can make it as easy as I can for you. One of my other passions is horseback riding. And so in the last couple months, I have been horseback riding again. I had this opportunity to partner with this amazing horse, a new trainer, and I realized I just couldn't keep up. Like I had this amazing dance partner, dressage Grand Prix horse that I had the privilege to work with, and I just couldn't keep up with him. So I realized I needed to do something a lot different than I had been doing it. And that's what, you know, finally led me to dive into the Metabolic Reset and experiment with this for myself and then put this program together for you guys. So the first couple of things that people want to know are, how is this different? And I was saying before that basically most diets, right, they're just diets. So they focus on the foods you can eat, and they focus on exercising, and sometimes people are eating too little and exercising too much. And I see that as actually being a bigger problem than eating too much and exercising too little. And the reason is because when we do that, we're telling our brain, we're telling our thyroid and our adrenals, which are all in charge of our metabolism and our stress, that this is a stressful environment, that our body is unsafe. And so our body goes, oh, okay, we're going to actually turn down the metabolism, and we're going to hold on to these fat stores because we're in trouble and we might need this later. And so when we are using diets and things that work against the body instead of with them, this is a huge problem. And so we have to do the complete opposite. We want to send the body a signal of safety, and we want to tell it, it's okay, you're safe, we got you. Now you can release the extra weight. Now you can turn the metabolism back up. Let's get the energy back up. Let's get the thyroid up. Let's, let's feel the abundance of this world, and let's release the things we don't have to hold on to anymore. So that's how this works. Now, another thing that is not being addressed in typical weight loss programs in a typical diet approach is the foods get restricted, and then we're not addressing the microbiome. So you guys know, if you've been following me, that I'm all about the gut-brain connection. And the metabolic reset addresses both your hormones and what your brain is signaling in terms of your hormone, stress, and metabolism and weight loss ability. And it's also working on the microbiome, which is your gut bugs. So if we have the right gut bugs, then we actually crave vegetables. If we have the wrong gut bugs, we crave sweets, we crave salty, we crave the things that kind of get us into trouble. And beyond that, certain microbes can actually cause you to gain weight, or they can help you, find your own metabolic reset. And that's the place where you want to be. So that's really important that we address the microbiome. And in this program, we're really addressing everything from the brain to the gut, so that you can really leverage these health principles and release unwanted weight and get back to the energy and the metabolism that you want. Now, another thing that I want to talk about is detox. So, I've run lots of detox programs. I'm a big fan of elimination diets and figuring out your food sensitivities, because that's all individualized, and so that's super important. And typically every year I'll do that. I'll teach people about different foods and food sensitivities. But this goes way beyond this. This is going an extra step to not just figure out which foods are right for you, which foods are helping you, which foods are harming you, but actually, give your body the chance to reset the way it's running its metabolism and release weight. So that's why this is really exciting and effective. So people who have experienced this program have lost 20 to 30 pounds in 6 weeks. And the first thing I want to let you know is, even though that's really dramatic, this is not a you're going to lose it and gain it back program. And right now I'm going to tell you exactly the steps that we use, because what I want to show you is we have set this program up to not just support you in 6 weeks of weight loss, but to also help you transition to a healthy and sustainable lifestyle. So the program is actually 10 weeks, so I can make sure that you make it to your new lifestyle and you're happy and you know exactly what to do, and I support you through that process, instead of just like, okay, boom, lose the weight, okay, bye, see you later. No, we don't do that here. That's not effective. That doesn't work. I'm not interested in just helping people lose weight and put it back on. That's so unhealthy. It's really hard on your body. We don't want that. What this is we're focused on walking you through the stages of the weight loss and then transitioning you so you have all the support that you need. So I got my notes here with all the questions you guys asked. So thank you so much for that. And let's go ahead and just talk about what the program is. So here's what it looks like. Basically, like I said, there's 6 weeks of the weight loss period, and then there's 4 weeks of the maintenance period, so we can support you through that and make sure that you know exactly what to do to transition to your new lifestyle and keep the weight off for good. So here's what we do. there's 3 phases of the metabolic reset. There's the loading, the losing, and the maintenance phase. So in the loading phase, we're actually going to focus on higher fat foods, a higher caloric intake, because we're prepping your body. So the thyroid is an endocrine organ here in your body. It's an endocrine gland, and it sets the rate of metabolism in your body. So if you are constantly doing a deprivation diet and you're eating too little and you're working out too much, your thyroid goes, oh, there's not enough food in our environment. This is a stressful environment. We better conserve. And so it turns your metabolism down. This is a big problem, and this is one of the main reasons why a lot of the deprivation style diets don't work. So we don't want to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to stoke the fire of your metabolism, and we're going to use these 2 loading days to tell your body, your brain, your thyroid, and your adrenals, life is good. We've got abundance everywhere. Don't you worry about a thing. We're going to really replenish your fat stores with healthy fats and really focus on that for 2 days. So that's the loading phase. Now, what happens next is we go into the losing phase. So the losing phase is 6 weeks. It's 42 days, and we don't go past that. I'll explain in a minute that if you have more like 50 or 60 pounds to lose, and people typically lose 20 to 30 pounds in this process. If you need to go through a second losing phase, we have a process for you for that, and I'll explain that in a little bit. But it's very important you understand this is not a diet that you just go on and that's it. This is something that you have to cycle through for the health of your body and for the effectiveness of the program. So in the losing phase, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on intermittent fasting and whole foods. So that means in the morning, you'll fast. So you'll have tea or coffee only. And we're going to supercharge this for you by providing coffee or tea of your choice. So green tea, red tea, or coffee. And this is going to be infused with Ganoderma. So the other name for Ganoderma is reishi, and reishi is one of the most powerful and most researched adaptogenic herbs on the planet. It's a mushroom, and so this is going to support you in your immunity, your blood sugar, your detox, and your energy. So it makes the intermittent fasting even more powerful than just doing it with water or coffee alone. So you'll intermittent fast, and then at lunch, what you'll do is have protein, vegetables, and fruit. And so this is a program where we will be portioning some things out. So you'll be weighing your protein to make sure you get enough. You'll be weighing certain vegetables to make sure you get enough. And then other vegetables and fruits, you can just eat as much as you want. So we have the specific list for you, and we have, I'm not sure how many recipes, I'll have to count, but we got a lot of recipes. I mean, there's definitely more than 30 recipes. We might even have 50, and we're adding to it all the time. So we have exactly what foods to eat, exactly how to prepare it. One of the things I'm very big on is showing you how to do batch cooking. And I will tell you, I've done paleo, I've done keto, I've done Whole30, I've done it all. And this is by far the easiest food prep and the least time in the kitchen out of any of those types of nutrition programs. So if you're worried about, oh no, I'm going to spend too much time in the kitchen, don't worry about that. Actually, it's super easy cleanup, and I have all the instructions and the recipes for you, so you don't need to guess or kind of like not know what to eat or be Googling things, looking for recipes, none of that. So we've got you taken care of there. So during this losing phase, whole foods, intermittent fasting, and what I find really remarkable about this is even on some of these other really whole foods approaches that I love, I always found myself still craving chocolate or craving carbs or just like being so hungry I couldn't get enough. And I do not find that on the metabolic reset, and my patients haven't reported that either. So it's pretty awesome. It really kicks your cravings to the curb. So that's really nice. So the maintenance phase goes on for 42 days, that's 6 weeks. And then at the end of those 42 days, you will transition to a maintenance mode. So this is really important because, like I said, we can't be in this losing phase for forever because it is a low carb, no added fat. So you're getting your carbs from your fruit and you're getting your fat from the protein that you're eating, but we're not adding in any olive oil or butter or coconut oil. So you can't do that forever because fat is healthy, it's important, but we're, like I said, we're using this cycle to sort of wake up your brain, say, hey, let's use our fat stores, and then let's transition to a maintenance plan. So on the maintenance plan, you're going to add back in your breakfast. You can continue the intermittent fasting if that works for you, or you can intermittent fast just, once a week or something like that. Some people like to cycle in the intermittent fasting. And then, we're going to just continue to focus on the protein, the vegetables, but no more weighing, none of that. So now you're transitioning to really intuitive eating with these principles. And what was really eye-opening for me during this process, especially during the losing phase, was the mistakes that I was making on a whole foods, gluten-free, paleo type of diet. And so I think I still totally think for a lot of people, paleo is the way to go, gluten-free, and just, everybody's ratios of their carbs or their protein or their fats has to be a little different. Everybody's an individual. But what I realized is that I think I was having too much protein, not enough fruit, and I was just adding in way too much fat on top of an already abundant healthy fat diet. So we account for those things. And like I said, I've taken this metabolic reset from what it originally was and really upped the game here to make it completely holistic and support you guys. So that's basically what that looks like. Now, here's what the program looks like. This is what people are enrolling in, and I'm super excited because we just have the most amazing women who have joined this already, and we're having a group start in January. And what you can do is, if you think this is for you, then I'll show you how to submit an application and book with me. And everyone's starting on their own date. So the support that I'm giving is going to start on January 5th. So that's basically the earliest start date. But for instance, I have a gal who has a birthday in the middle of January. And so she's joining the group, but she's actually going to start her personal reset after her birthday. And so this is customized to you and what works for you and your lifestyle. So we can talk about that and figure out what the best start date and plan is for you if you're interested in learning about that. So support, this is a group program, but you also get one-on-one support from me. So when you sign up for the Metabolic Reset, you get 2 45-minute consultations with me. So the first one, we do that to assess your health history, answer any questions you have about the Metabolic Reset, make any tweaks to the program that we need to make sure that you're successful. And then the second 45-minute consultation is with me in the transition from the losing phase into the maintenance phase, because I want to make sure that we connect, that we are on the same page, that you know exactly what to do, and get all your questions answered during those really crucial times. Now, throughout the program, which is a 10-week program, so 6 weeks of the losing phase and 10 weeks of the maintenance phase, you have access to me personally through messages. So we have a client portal where you can log in. You'll be doing a couple of things. You'll be doing tracking, so you'll track your weight and upload that every day. And what's really motivating about the Metabolic Reset is when you see those numbers moving, and when you take a picture, I recommend each week, you see the difference, and it's really motivating. So it's really easy to complete this program because you see results so fast and it's really engaging. See, you got a little flyaway up here, but what are you gonna do? Okay, so what else do I want to say about that? So we will also have group support. So we're gonna have a Facebook group so that you can be supported by myself and a group of people. And so, for example, things that you might want to ask the group about, you might want to share a recipe, you might want to ask a general question, but anything that's personal to you that comes directly to me, and you have that message access where you get same-day support from me through our secure portal, which is really a lot of fun. And then through that tracking, I know exactly how you're doing. So sometimes people will, stall out for a couple of days, and that's normal. It's called a plateau. And so I can see if you've had a plateau for a couple of days, and let you know how we can address that. So that's that support element. The other thing is we'll be doing weekly coaching calls in the Facebook group. So this will be group coaching. It's your chance to jump on live, ask me questions, cheer other group members on. And what I'm really excited about here is this sisterhood that is starting, because community is such an important part. And when I put together this program, I thought about making it an individual process, because here in Portland, Oregon, I work with patients through the Essentials program, and that's a one-on-one experience with me, which is really powerful for people who are dealing with sort of medical mysteries and chronic diseases, autoimmunity, brain health issues. And I love that work. And when I looked at this metabolic reset, I saw this opportunity to create a community type program where there's still that one-on-one support from me and that expertise and guidance, but also this sisterhood of women who are supporting each other and, you know, creating lifelong friendships. So I'm really excited to see that. So what else is included in the metabolic reset? So you get your full instructions, the approved foods list. We have recipes for you, so no Googling. I have all of my tips and tricks for batch cooking and making this super easy. I'm spending less time in the kitchen I ever had. I am currently on the losing phase, so I did a losing phase for 3 weeks, and I did pause it and kind of go into maintenance mode, and I had Christmas. I enjoyed myself. I did my thing, and now I'm starting back up on that losing phase, so I will actually be completing my losing phase with the January group. So I'm right alongside you guys, and super excited to be doing this with you guys. So you'll have you'll have simple, easy, and delicious recipes. You'll have instructions on how to get over those weight loss plateaus if they happen to you. You'll know how to create your new set point and transition to your new lifestyle. And, you know, really the whole point of this, again, is to give you these tools, walk you through this process, give you all the support in the community that you need, and then make sure that you are transitioning for long-term success. So this is not a yo-yo diet. You know, this is a plan to get you from where you are now, which is probably, if you're watching this, feeling a little confused. Why didn't the thing that works for everybody else work for you? I totally get that, because I was that person. It's like, I don't know. I mean, I could do a Whole30 for 90 days and it really wouldn't make a difference. I'd be definitely getting a lot of nutrient stores replenished, but when I went strict paleo, even when I cut down just the sugar, like that really wasn't moving the dial for me. So if you're like me, you've tried a lot of the stuff that works for everybody else, and it's just not quite working for you, or it got you halfway there but not all the way to where you want it to be, then this is something that you should, you know, send me an application and let's get on the phone and find out if it's the right fit for you. So let's talk about supplements. The supplements that are included are super simple. So one of the things that I saw my patients struggle with is so many supplements and trying to stick to an exercise routine and trying to do the diet, and it's just all so complicated. So I designed this to be very streamlined, so it's easy to do, and you have everything that you need, but a very streamlined, minimalistic approach when it comes to supplements. So the supplements that are included is you get 25 sachets of the Ganoderma, either coffee or tea of your choice. I have a metabolic support formula for you. This is helping your adrenals, your thyroid, and your brain be happy through this process. And then we also have my very favorite probiotic. So this is sort of our secret sauce. This is our metabolic support probiotic. And then in addition to that, we have detoxification packs to really help your liver process all of this and make sure that you are eliminating safely and effectively. So that's really important. So next couple of questions people had. Who can participate? So this is a group style program, and I'm a doctor in Portland, Oregon. So actually for the first time, since this is a group program and this is a nutrition program, if you're interested in enrolling with me as a patient, then we should have a different conversation about the Essentials program if you're looking for that deep work, doing all the labs and really getting to root causes. But if you're somebody who the main issues are weight, energy, confidence, mindset, then the Metabolic Reset is for you. And for the first time ever, I'm opening up the doors. Anyone in the United States can apply for this, and we can find out if it's a good fit for you and if it's the right solution for you and if we're a good fit to work together. So just shoot me a message and I'll send you the video and the application. Just let me know. And then the next thing is, so who is this for exactly? The number one things here are, this is for people who are looking to lose 15, 20, or 30 pounds and keep it off. And who are looking for a healthy and sustainable way to do it. So, you know, mindset is really important to me here. And also your purpose in wanting to lose weight is important to me here. So I'm not about like trying to look like girls in magazines. I'm not about just the aesthetics. it's really important to me that you have purpose in your weight loss and releasing this, and that this is about energy, this is about being confident, this is about feeling like the best you. So that's who's a good fit for this. And also, I'm looking for people who are supportive, positive, and committed to service, because we're going to be in a group. So, you know, attitude's really important. So you got to have the right attitude, because this is seriously like an amazing group of women, and I'm hand selecting each and every one of you to make sure that we have an awesome experience. And then the last thing is mindset. It's a huge part of this that's really overlooked when it comes to weight loss. It's not just about the calories, not just about the food. Like I said, the metabolic reset is really not a diet. It's a process. And in addition to everything I talked about today, we're going to be going really deep on the mindset, and we're going to be talking about releasing old stories, releasing, you know, body image issues, all of that. So I'm really looking forward to supporting you guys in that. So who is this not for, or who is this process not appropriate for? So this process is not appropriate for everyone. So it's not appropriate for you if you're currently pregnant or breastfeeding, or if you have active gallbladder disease or an active cancer diagnosis. It also may not be the right fit if you're on a journey of healing from disordered eating. It just depends on where you're at in this journey, but I'm very sensitive about that, and I don't want anyone to get triggered into habits, because there is weighing and food portioning in this program. So if that's going to be an issue for you, then it's probably not going to be the right fit. And then the last thing is, you know, this is not for you if you're going to be skeptical, negative, or just be unwilling to change your behavior, be unwilling to, you know, participate, unwilling to participate in the group, or unwilling to just, you know, honestly let go of your crap. So I know that's none of you watching, because we have an awesome tribe here, but I just want to throw that out there. A couple other questions I got. Does this work if I'm gluten, dairy, or soy free? So yeah, so I'm gluten, dairy, and soy free, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So this is a anti-inflammatory. The diet aspect is anti-inflammatory, so it's naturally gluten, dairy, and soy free. We're really focused on whole foods that came from a farm, so that's really important to me. And then another question we got is, does this work for vegetarians or vegans? So it does work for vegetarians. You know, having a higher protein diet during the losing phase is really important to the success. So for vegetarians, they can be successful with this, but it is a little bit of a slower progression, but we do have some strategies for that. It does get a little tough for vegans though, because again, it's really important that we do high protein. That's just part of the protocol. I'm not getting in any arguments about paleo, vegetarian, or vegan. I'm just saying what I know works. Like I said, as a group of doctors, we've tested this with hundreds of patients, and people are losing 20 to 30 pounds in 6 weeks. That's the losing phase. And because we're transitioning them into a healthy lifestyle, they're keeping it off. So we do recommend during the losing phase, you go just a little bit lower, like, you know, 4 pounds lower than where you want your set point to be, because when you go on the maintenance, you might gain 4 to 6 pounds back. But typically people are continuing to sustainably be set at their new metabolic rate, or they're continuing to just lose at a slower pace. Oh, I got to go back to that, because I promised you guys, I would talk about what to do if you have to do a second losing phase. So if you are someone who has more than 30 or 40 pounds to lose, then you might need to do this process a couple of times. And the way that that works is, once you're finished the losing phase, if you're at the weight you want to be and you're feeling good, then you go into the maintenance mode, and then you take off. That's your new life. If you need to do a second round and lose another 20 or 30 pounds, then we will do the maintenance mode for at least 4 weeks, but often more than that, sometimes 6. There's a process that we have to make sure that you get back to your metabolic set point before we start that losing phase again. So remember, we are working with the body, not against it. So we can't just like do losing forever. It's 6 weeks and then we're done. We're on to the maintenance phase. And if you need to do a second losing phase, then You already have all the instructions, so you don't need to invest in the full program again. But we will get you your supplements if you need to do a second round, and we will have some options if you would like to, continue doing coaching with us during a second round. So we'll have some options for that when we get to the end of this first metabolic reset. Okay, so I'm just gonna flip through really quick and see if we have any questions that I didn't get to. All right, excellent. What happens if you don't have a Facebook account? So, the Facebook group is going to be really important. So I think that it's been one of the best things that we've done is we actually have a Thriving Force Facebook community, and you're all welcome to join that. It's a place to get a lot of great tips. So Facebook, that's what we're using. So if you really want to do this, I would suggest signing up for a Facebook account and using the group, because I don't think you want to miss out on that group support. That's really important. Let's see, what else do we have? All right, I think we have all the questions answered. So thank you so much for joining me. Hope you guys are having a lovely holiday season. And this is such a cool time to be launching this metabolic reset, because this is really a supercharged time between the winter solstice and the new year. I'm a firm believer that any time, any day, any hour of the year is the best time to change your life and to make healthier choices. And I love using these times of year when, it's really just supercharged. We're between that winter solstice, moving on to a new season in the year, and we can move on to a new season in our life. So if you have questions for me about the metabolic reset and want to find out if this is right for you, for Facebook, I will drop the link to another explainer video and a link to the application so we can get on the phone and chat. And for Instagram, honestly, this is my first this is my first ever Instagram live, so I think I can also drop the link for you guys. But you can also DM me on Instagram, or you can message me on Facebook. And this was a lot of fun. So what do you guys think? Should we do a lot more lives like this? Because I thought it was pretty fun. So love you guys. Talk to you soon. Hope to see you in the new year. And until then, to Health with Heart. Talk to you soon. Bye, Facebook. Thanks for joining.